Good afternoon. I'm Sami Parvez and welcome to the Sami Parvez show. Uh, Thank you for joining me on this special live segment. So,
Good
today
afternoon.
let's talk about the chaos in Ottawa as Justin Trudeau facing lots of uh, pressure to step down as Liberal Party leader and Prime Minister. Will Justin Trudeau resign? So, as Trudeau yesterday said, he heard the frustration. He will take them and then maybe make a decision. He did not make a decision. Maybe he would make it within a few days, according to sources, according to mainstream media reports citing sources. So it is unclear that Trudeau is going to resign or not. But as I predict Justin Trudeau is not going anywhere because of his ego. Like it seems like Trudeau think everything is being granted to him, or just he has it. Like his father was a prime minister for 14 years. He thinks like he will continue his father path to serve for over a decade. But now Trudeau's time's up, and will those Trudeau's loyalists who are just brought in, like promoted based on DI, diversity, equity, inclusive quota system, are they going to call for Trudeau resignation? So far, no, but some big pinchers, those are just like a regular MP who were not like brought in on quota. But it seems like those are calling out for Trudeau to resign, even though some former Liberal minister were very loyal to Trudeau, who also called him to resign. Even to MP wrote a statement called to Justin Trudeau resign. I will share them later. And it all begins with Chrystia Freeland resignation, which was shocking and surprising for everyone, including Justin Trudeau, because Justin Trudeau wanted to shuffle her out, like what always he does, particularly with women, despite uh, uh, calling himself a feminist, but he is a fake feminist. We saw like but what happened back in 2019 when he threw Madam Jody Wilson-Raybould under the bus and then kicked her out along with Jane Pelport from Liberal caucus, just because Dr. Pelport stood with Madam Jody Wilson-Raybould, and also some other Liberal MP were also kicked out. Some women particularly. So let me first of all show you the uh, Chrystia Freeland resignation letter, which was shocking. Like what she's being now called out. She's running for leadership. It means she's preparing herself for the leadership race. Okay, so here is the later, which was just after 9 o'clock. It was posted on our social media accounts. But so it is also being reported that Trudeau spoke with Freeland back in last Friday, and via Zoom told her that she will deliver the uh, fiscal statement, then she will be shuffled out. Maybe she would be given U.S. committee or U.S. Canada relation ministry, something like that. But she won't remain finance minister any longer. As Chrystia Freeland was appointed as finance minister when Bill Morneau stepped down back in 2020, and now Dominic LeBlanc took over. Uh, uh, finance portfolio is Dominic is Trudeau's best buddy since childhood. So let's read some what she wrote. Yeah, it has been honor of my life to serve in government working for Canada and Canadians. We have accomplished a lot together. Okay, so now here she mentioned on Friday, you told me you no longer want me to serve as your finance minister and offered me another position in the cabinet. To be effective, a minister must speak on behalf of the prime minister and with his full confidence. In making your decision, you made clear that I no longer credibly enjoy the confidence and possess the authority that comes with it. So there we go. I mean, she is openly challenging now Trudeau. As Trudeau just asked her now, he does not want her to be longer in his cabinet, particularly in finance department. For the past number of weeks, you and I have found ourselves at odds about the best path forward for Canada. Our country today faces a grave challenge. The incoming administration in the United States is pursuing a policy of aggressive economic nationalism, including a threat of 25% tariffs. Yeah, and this all begins due to these tariffs. Like Trump threatened Canada and Mexico, particularly. Trump spoke with Mexico, but it seemed like that his tone is being changed since then after posting on social truth about Canada and Mexico for allowing people like particularly criminal and drugs to the United States from Canada and Mexico border. But Mexico assured Trump that they would do everything to control the border, but particularly in Canada, which is the closest ally and closest biggest trading partner, Canada and US. But Trump is just keep pushing and calling Trudeau a governor of Canada. Like not prime minister. So that means pushing back against America first, economic nationalism with a determined effort to fight for capital and investment, the jobs they bring. That means working in good faith and humility with the premiers of the provinces and territories of our great and diverse country and building a true team Canada. I know Canadian would recognize and respect such an approach. They know when we are working for them and they equally know when we are focused on ourselves. Inevitably our time in government will come to an end, but how we deal with the threat of our country faces will define us for a generation and perhaps longer. Canada will win if we are strong, smart, and united. It is it is this conviction which has driven my strenuous efforts this fall to manage our spending in ways that will give us the flexibility we will need to meet the serious challenges presented by the United States. I will always be grateful to the chance to have served in government, and I will always be proud of our government's work for Canada and Canadians. I look forward to continuing to work with my colleagues as a Liberal Member of Parliament, and I am committed to running again for my seat in Toronto in the next federal election. So, Chrystia Freeland resigned as finance minister, particularly as also deputy prime minister was appointed, and she was the first, or she is the first finance minister who served as a woman. But it means they also had a clash particularly I believe with respect to $250 check, and the deficit now reached like it was a $62 billion deficit, which was earlier projected it could be like 40 billion, so 22 billion more. And it all began then a later of the day. So Trump, even though like lots of like liberal MP called out uh, Trudeau to resign, and particularly uh, Donald Trump. Donald Trump always so see like Donald Trump. So just kept mocking Trudeau. The great state of Canada is stunned. Is the so see you write great state of Canada. It seems like he is not calling Canada as a country, but considering it as a state of the United States. The great state of Canada is stunned as the finance minister resigns or was fired from her position by Governor Justin Trudeau. So he's not referring Justin Trudeau as prime minister, but governor. Her behavior was totally toxic and not at all conducive to making deals which are good for the very unhappy citizens of Canada. She will not be missed. She will not be missed. So Trump also mocked a Chrystia Freeland. So this is completely surprising. Like just Trump is watching, like uh, is from audience. Like he's just enjoying what's happening. The chaos is happening in Canada, and it has become world news when this happened. Particularly British Broadcasting Corporation in U.S. media outlets, all of them highlighted what happened in Canada. This is very terrible, and this is the statement which started, as Trump wrote on January 28 as one of my many executive order. I will sign all necessary document to charge Mexico and Canada a 25% tariff on all products coming into the United States and its ridiculous open borders. So this is see like he is taking it mean is comparing Canada and Mexico together, despite what Canada called we don't it mean there won't be much people are crossing illegally to the United States as compared to Mexico. But Trump does not give a damn about this thing. Trump just wants to secure US and keep pressuring Canada to do more on its defense and also like protecting its border. As we know, like last time a Pakistani student was arrested in near Canada and US border in Quebec, who was going there illegally to crossing illegally to kill a Jews on October 7th. So this is completely surprising, and suddenly Canada changed its all policies as they were relaxed. And so this is another statement from Patrick Wheeler, another Liberal MP from West Vancouver, and he also wrote that months ago I asked the Prime Minister to step down, a decision that I believe that then and now is the best interest of the party and more importantly the country. Today's development only reinforced the call. Minister Freeland has made a principled and difficult decision. She deserves credit for steering this country through many crises under the most challenging of circumstances, and I thank her for her service. It is clear that the Prime Minister has lost confidence of of members of caucus and increasingly much of the country with so many important issues at the end here at home and abroad. This reality demands substan- substantive change. I reiterate my call for the Prime Minister to step aside and allow the initi- initiation of a leadership process. So, Patrick Wheeler. And another, Chad Colin, another backbencher MP. In October, I signed a letter with 23 other member of parliament from across Canada. As you remember, back in there was a letter was circulating which was asking Justin Trudeau to resign, but he said he listened to them. He just want to move forward. That mean he's not going to step down. Like now, it came back on him. Like now he needs to resign. Maybe there is another report as earlier I was saying. 60 MPs are trying to write a letter to ask Justin Trudeau step down as Liberal Party leader and a prime minister. So, in October, I signed a letter with 23 other members of parliament from across Canada asking the Prime Minister to step down and begin a formal process to replace him. It's unfortunate that he declined to respond to our request. It is obvious that Canadians across the country feel the same and want him to leave. Today, I publicly reiterate my request that the Prime Minister step down and initiate a leadership process to take our country in a new direction. Hamilton East MP uh, Chad Colin, and Chad Colin also spoke with CBC, was saying the same thing. So he's calling or media reporters that Trudeau must step down, but Trudeau is not going anywhere. So there is another report from L Times. I'm going to share where it said like they cited sources who are saying uh, I believe like 15 MP spoke on the mic with Justin Trudeau, because after that there was a caucus meeting with Liberal MPs, and Trudeau also attended a fundraise. Let me stop this. And Trudeau is not going anywhere. I repeat, maybe I will be wrong. Okay. So let me. Earlier, like yesterday, after Chrystia Freeland resignation as Sean Fraser, housing minister, and also he served as the minister of immigration before becoming housing minister. He also stepped down. And let me play some clips. Here, Sean Fraser is.
Look, I'll tell you that I had the opportunity to work alongside Minister Freeland as her parliamentary secretary during the second half of the COVID-19 pandemic. I found her to be professional, supportive of me as a member of parliament, and I consider her a friend, and that friendship will continue long after my time in politics. What that says about not knowing her own take on the reasons behind that decision makes it very difficult for me to assess what it may mean. But my sense is that she's been an excellent team member to work alongside, and I continue to consider her a friend. When it comes to the government, if a portion of your question referred to my view on what it may mean for the government, is that as compared to the product on offer on the other side of the chamber, it's very clear that my own party supports the priorities that I think are most important to people at home. investing in healthcare, putting money on the table to make life more affordable, doing something serious to address the pressing threat of climate change. So from my own perspective, the choice is clear as to who will offer a superior point of view to Canadians when it comes time for them to go to the ballot boxes. But in the meantime, questions about my colleague, Ms. Freeland's motivations would be best placed to her.
The minister who's changing responsibilities will please come forward to
So
swear the oath.
that was Sean Fraser, like doing a press conference. As earlier it was reported, I believe in Saturdays, Sean Fraser is going to step down because of step down as minister. Will not seek re-election in the next election, and there are also suggestions that he may enter in the provincial politics where. So and this all so after when Christopher Freeland resigned and there was no minister, usually based on technically when Freeland a finance minister stepped down, then Minister of Science and Innovation will take over. But Champagne said he is not the finance minister. So now we have LeBlanc, so Justin Trudeau's childhood friend. So he took over, and he is a liar. He has no expertise in finance. Like how the hell you would serve as a finance minister when you don't have any experiences about finance. So as he is Trudeau's buddy, so he just bring in whoever wants. It seems like just a family party, you know. So now he got sworn in, I think, around 4 p.m. So here it is. Like, let's watch this one.
The minister who's changing responsibilities will please come forward to swear the oath of office. Le ministre qui change la responsabilité est prié de s'avancer pour prêter le serment d'office. The Honorable Dominique Leblanc, Minister of Finance and Intergovernmental Affairs. L'Honorable Dominique Leblanc, Ministre des Finances et des Affaires intergouvernementales.
Moi, Dominique Leblanc, je promets et jure solennellement et sincèrement qu'au mieux de ma compétence et de ma connaissance, j'exécuterai loyalement et fidèlement les pouvoirs et je m'acquitterai des responsabilités qui m'ont été confiées en qualité de ministre des Finances et des Affaires intergouvernementales. I, Dominic LeBlanc, do solemnly and sincerely promise and swear that I will be truly and faithfully and to the best of my skill and knowledge execute the powers and trusts reposed in me as Minister of Finance and Intergovernmental Affairs.
Congratulations, Minister. The Minister, the Governor General, the Prime Minister, and the Clerk of the Privy Council will now sign the oath book. Le ministre, le Premier ministre, le Gouverneur général et le greffier de conseil privé apposeront maintenant leur signature sur le registre des serments. Your Excellency. To conclude the ceremony, please join me in congratulating the Minister. Pour terminer la cérémonie, merci beaucoup. Thank you very much.
So there we go. Like, so Trudeau hugged him, like when after sworn in. Like, look at this footage. Maybe you did not notice it.
Congratulations, Minister.
Oh, you saved me. Thank you for saving me, my childhood friend.
The Minister, the
Maybe
Governor
Trudeau said
General, the
like that.
Prime Minister, and the
Okay,
Clerk of the
let's move
Privy
on.
Council.
So now, what was his reaction on what he? This is what he said after sworn in, like taking press
We
conference.
have several Liberal MPs calling for the Prime Minister's resignation. Jagmeet Singh also calling for the Prime Minister's resignation. How does the government manage to even push its agenda forward in a minority parliament?
The government passed a series of confidence votes last week. The spending estimates were approved. The government continues to focus on the work that Canadians want us to focus on. I had today interesting conversations with officials in the incoming administration in the United States on border security. My conversation with the Prime Minister today was entirely focused on the work that we want to do to support Canadians around affordability, obviously the threat of tariffs coming from an incoming administration, and what we need to do to protect the Canadian economy.
Sorry, I did speak.
Okay. So here, what he said.
A series of confidence votes.
Yeah,
The government
confidence
series of
votes. Thanks
confidence.
to Justin Jagmeet Singh, like for supporting every single confidence vote because he needs his pension. You know, like Singh also said that Trudeau must resign, but he did not say that uh, uh, Trudeau should call an election. Let me see if I have that clip, like Singh one. Yeah, I have the.
Mr. Trudeau's government should go to the
legitimacy politically and
very clear.
Yeah, there you
Justin
go.
Trudeau has to go. He has.
Yeah, so there you go.
Mr.
Okay.
Very clear. Justin Trudeau has to go. He has to resign. And because of that, all options are on the table. And we'll look at each vote and we'll make a decision. But now all options are on the table. Paul Wells. Go ahead, Paul. Go ahead, Paul.
Sir, that
Go ahead,
room
Paul.
behind you is a parliament. The government continues to govern as long as MPs continue to have confidence in the government. You have no say over who the leader of the Liberal Party is. Will you support the government, or are you withdrawing your support from the government?
With respect to that, I've said that all options are on the table. That means everything is possible. But what is clear, given what we have seen, Justin Trudeau and a Liberal government that are focused on themselves, they are infighting at a time when people cannot even do their groceries. They can't even find homes that are affordable. And we've got the threat of Donald Trump and 25% tariffs that mean hundreds of thousands of jobs are at risk. Because of that, I'm saying very clearly that Justin Trudeau has to resign. All options on the table. Thank you very much. Merci.
Yeah, all options are on table, but he is not going to step down. You know, like so Justin Trudeau has to go, but I need to get my pension. I need to prop up this liberal government until February to secure my pension. So what the hell thing are you talking about? Even though NDP lead, I think NDP House leader. Uh, let me. So what is his name? I forgot his name, but he said that uh, topple this government or vote in a non-confidence in end of February or early March. NDP says. Let me bring in that.
All options on the table mean the NDP will vote no.
Justin Trudeau is still the Prime Minister and leader of the Liberal Party in February and March. Does all options on the table mean the NDP will vote no, vote non-confidence in the government in those 2 months on that timeline?
If we're talking the end of February and the beginning of March, and Mr. Trudeau has not stepped down, hasn't heeded that call from his own caucus, from his own cabinet, from all the opposition parties, then yes. So of course that would mean if we're coming up to a straight up non-confidence motion the end of February, early March, that's one of the tools that we have. And so there's no doubt about that. I mean, Jagmeet Singh was very, very clear. My concern, really, David, isn't just late February, early March. It's right now. People need the supports. We need a government that actually is functional and is putting those supports into place. And we need all hands on deck in terms of the Trump tariffs, which threaten hundreds of thousands of jobs. So this idea that the Liberals can play out a drama over the course of the next few months, simply not on. And the NDP, and I think Jagmeet Singh was very clear about that.
Okay, well, with respect, Mr. Julian, he kind of wasn't. He just kept saying all options are on the table, right?
So end of February or March, if Trudeau remains the leader, so they then NDP will vote in non-confidence. Sorry. So Jagmeet Singh urges Trudeau to step down. Does not say if he will vote non-confidence the government because he is concerned about his damn pension. Like he has no other concern. So Singh is more concerned about his pension than anything else. So until and unless his pension is not secured, so he's not going to vote in any confidence motion. So just wait and watch. Now let's go back to some other videos. So here is Blanche, block leader Blanche response.
Mr. Trudeau's government is over. And act accordingly. That the departure of is so important a lie. Minister, Vice First Minister, is the end of this government, and that beginning of 2025, the Prime Minister should go to the
Okay, so
Trudeau's government is over. He must acknowledge that and act accordingly. I believe that the departure of is so important a lie. Finances, Vice First Minister, Prime Minister, is the end of this government, and that at the latest in the beginning of 2025, the Prime Minister should go to the General Governor and ask for the dissolution of the Parliament.
yeah, see, like Blanche is also calling, but Blanche voted with conservative twice, but unfortunately, saying like NDP party was more concerned about Jagmeet Singh pension than anything else. So that's why they could not pass that no confidence motion. And see, you can see like Liberal MP Rainy Arsenal says Freeland's departure shows PM Trudeau is to a step side, but he's not going anywhere. So here is another. And Trudeau attended a Liberal Party and donor fundraiser.
Mr. Trudeau's government
very clear.
Legitimacy, political.
In this is
And in caucus, but I can say we're not united. There's still.
Here is one of those Liberal MP.
And in caucus, but I can say we're not united. There's still a number of our members who feel we need a change in leadership. I'm one of those. We fear what a Make Canada Great Again agenda from Mr. Poilievre means to our constituents. And I think the only path forward for us is to choose a new leader and to present a new plan to Canadians with a different vision.
How many? You say some of your MPs, how many? What makes a difference in last...
Okay, Peter, that was Chad Collins, the Liberal MP for Hamilton East Stony Creek. We wouldn't interrupt you if it wasn't for a...
And in caucus, but I can say we're not united. There's still a number of our members who feel
we are not united. What Trudeau is saying, we are united.
And in caucus,
Mr. Trudeau's government is
strongly about that.
Do you think the Prime Minister should resign?
Yes.
Why?
I had asked him to do so a couple of months ago. I had written to him. I'd said it at caucus. I think...
And this is Anthony Housefather, one of the most loyal to Trudeau. Despite he did not receive any promotion, he is one of Jewish MP. And despite like Jews were facing many challenges since the October 7th attack in Israel, the clashes between Israel and Hamas. but he remains in the Liberal caucus despite he received many calls to cross the floor or stay or sit as an independent MP. But all of that, Anthony Housefather did not budge to remain in Liberal caucus, but he called multiple times Trudeau to step down, but Trudeau is ego.
I think he has to listen to the people around him, and he has to look at what's happening right now. Sean Fraser is not running again. Chrystia Freeland has obviously she's articulated a loss of confidence in each other. You know, that's how I read the letter, and I just think on a personal note that he's going to have to do some soul searching, which is obviously what he's doing. And I'll just say I would not be surprised if he decided to prorogue Parliament and say that he was going to step down and that we would go into a leadership. That would not surprise me. Whether he does that or not, I think is obviously it's the question of the hour. But
strongly about that.
Everything is spiraling out of control. Out of control spending and bureaucracy has doubled housing costs, with 1,400 homeless encampments taking over Ontario alone. Out of control immigration has led to refugee camps opening in suburban Canada. And then we have 500,000 people in the country illegally, according to government estimates. Out of control crime overtakes our once tranquil streets, with gun crime having doubled. Out of control drugs and disorder add to the chaos, with 47,000 of our people dead of overdoses since Trudeau legalized drug laws, stopped enforcing them, and allowed limitless sums of fentanyl ingredients into our country. Out of control inflation has followed out of control money printing, which has sent out of control demand to our food banks, which are running out of food altogether. Out of control spending has doubled our national debt, boosted interest rates, and threatened our social programs. And it's not just Freeland who thinks this Prime Minister is out of control. Now, Housing Minister Sean Fraser has resigned in the middle of a housing crisis. The Minister is resigning, the Finance Minister is resigning in the middle of an economic crisis, and a fifth of his Liberal caucus has lost confidence in him. Justin Trudeau has lost control, and yet he clings to power. We cannot accept this kind of chaos, division, weakness, while we're staring down the barrel of a 25% tariff from our biggest trading partner and closest ally, which, by the way, is headed by a newly elected president with a strong and fresh mandate, a man who can spot weakness from a mile away. Ms. Freeland has been Mr. Trudeau's most trusted minister now for a decade. For 9 years. She knows him better than anyone, and she knows that he's out of control.
I think he has to listen to the people around him.
So this was Pierre Poilievre, Conservative leader. And here, what Doug Ford says when Chrystia Freeland resigned.
Sorry, I did speak to Chrystia, and I just wanted to thank her for her service. She gave me a call. I did put her on speaker with the rest of the premiers. We have a good relationship with Chrystia over the years. I just want to wish her all the best. But as a country, we have to project strength, unity, and you said the word. I didn't, but I'll repeat it. It's chaos right now up in Ottawa, and it's time that what we do every single day, the premiers, we step up and we'll make sure that we tell the world that there is stability here, there is certainty here in Canada, and by all means, it's a great place to invest in any of our provinces or territories. That's the message to the world, and we have a great group of premiers, very bright individuals around the table here.
Premier, I understand you spoke to Chrystia Freeland, who you have worked very closely with over these past 4 years, specifically on the pandemic, EVs, many other joint initiatives between Ontario and the federal government. Just wondering your thoughts on her sudden departure. What does this chaos in Ottawa, political chaos in Ottawa, say to you guys as you're trying to develop a plan to deal with an existential threat from Mr. Trump's tariffs on January 20th?
Sorry, I did speak to Chrystia, and I just wanted to thank her for her service. She gave me a call. I did put her on speaker with the rest of the premiers. We have a good relationship with Chrystia over the years. I just want to wish her all the best. But as a country, we have to project strength, unity, and you said the word. I didn't, but I'll repeat it. It's chaos right now up in Ottawa, and it's time that what we do every single day, the premiers, we step up and we'll make sure that we tell the world that there is stability here, there is certainty here in Canada, and by all means, it's a great place to invest in any of our provinces or territories. That's the message to the world, and we have a great group of premiers, very bright individuals around the table here.
It was Doug Ford.
And in caucus.
Legitimacy.
So this is Blanchet speaking today.
Politically and ethically, the legitimacy of the government under Justin Trudeau is about zero at this point. There is no more possibility to restore credible intervention on the part of the government under Justin Trudeau. Now, if Mr. Trudeau wishes to remain, then he will be the one that will be leading the discussions with Canada, with the United States and Mexico, or with the Pacific region. But in that case, he has to run in an election. Whatever the scenario, before the end of January, he has to ask the Governor General to dissolve Parliament so that someone can get a mandate, so that a new Parliament can be constituted, so that we will be able to move forward. And again, from the standpoint of the Bloc, that is not a problem, and it must not be. What will be proposed, I mean, if it's good for Quebec, we will be in favor. If it's bad for Quebec, we'll be against. So no one has to worry about the Bloc Québécois. In terms of what is put on the table, it has to serve the interests of Quebec. And after that, quite quickly, I think we have to ensure that Team Canada is able to do its job without the distraction of various premiers across the country shooting themselves in the foot mutually. And the public relations strategy is needed urgently. And I think what we need to do is ensure that, based on the choice made by the regions, someone should designate, whether it's Ontario or Quebec, designate members to be part of Team Canada, because the economic future of Ontario and the auto industry is not the same as the future of Quebec with forestry and the West with oil and gas. So every region has to be able to actively participate in this so that it doesn't become an exercise that basically only serves oil and Ontario.
Very clear.
Yeah, so
Justin
Blanchet is also openly calling Trudeau to step down. And there is, like, Trudeau is speaking with his caucus last evening. So they covered everything, did not allow any media member, but also they covered from outside. No one should see what's happening inside.
Whoever's back there, thank you.
look at here. Like now they will put all the blame.
Oh, they're gonna block the windows. Yep.
The most transparent government what Trudeau described at the time when he got elected. He said his government will be the most transparent government in the
The gig is up.
Canadian history. Everyone knows like how much
Bye bye.
this is transparent.
King
Oh, this
Trudeau,
is
what gives
Trudeau was I think leaving from a fundraise event, so he got called.
you the right to continue? What gives you the right to stay in office? You failed Canada. You've ruined our country. You're done. Walk away. You don't have an ounce of your father's integrity. At least he walked in the snow. You've ruined this country. Everyone around you is running from you. They're abandoning you. Chrystia Freeland, Sean Fraser, they've all left you. It's time for you to go. It's time for Canada to have an election. You're not the king.
Yeah, Trudeau believes he is the king.
You're not the king of this country. You are not our king. You are a public servant and you have failed.
Oh, there is speaking to fundraise event, but it does not mention anything about Chrystia Freeland and about the chaos and his future.
Thank you all for being here tonight. It's obviously been an eventful day. It has not been an easy day. But I wanted to come here tonight and speak with you, dedicated, devoted members of the Liberal Party. There is no place I'd rather be in Canada, and it is the absolute privilege of my life to serve as your Prime Minister. Now, Canada is the best country on earth, but it's not perfect. That's why I wake up every single day thinking about how to make this nation work better for all Canadians. That mission to consistently put in the work so that we're living up to our ideals and values, that's at the core of what makes us Liberals. And it's why you show up here, even on the toughest days, as a party.
Yeah, there it is, Trudeau. Okay, that was Trudeau's speech, and this is what Trudeau is facing at this time. But no one knows like what will happen. Like, but Trudeau is not going anywhere. This is what I'm predicting, because Trudeau faces such chaos. Like until and unless he won't be kicked out from a no confidence or in an election, he's not going anywhere because he knows like some MPs within his caucus who are brought in on quota system, they would definitely support him. Like so why should he resign? So that's why he's sticking around, and he will stay around until there would be no confidence, until there would be a no confidence motion or an election. Then he will lose terribly. Then he will go home. Until then, so we won't have, we cannot think like, because he thinks he's the best. And this is I'm going to play, I'm going to show that story what I was saying earlier.
been quite a 24 hours. What can you tell us about what happened in the emergency Liberal caucus meeting yesterday?
Well, I think that you've already captured the essence of what happened very clearly.
But the overall
Are kind of the end result of that.
Yeah, okay, I found a story. Okay, there you go. So some Liberal MPs repeat calls for Trudeau to quit after Freeland debacle, but he is still is defenders. Is delusional if he thinks we can continue like this, says Liberal MP When Long. And When Long has been low, he has been calling for a long time to Trudeau step down. And there was a by-election in BC and Conservative won by 50% vote. So it was a Liberal seat. At first, Liberal won it back in 2015, then Conservative won it in 2019, but again, Liberal took it in 2021. Now, Liberal won it back no, Conservative won it from Liberal by over 50%, and they received, I think, 3%, or I need to check that one. But let's see this one. So here are those like 13 MPs are openly calling for Trudeau to resign, and 6 of them are not seeking re-election. So these are the one: Wen Long, Rene Arsenault, Franco, Francis Drone, Elena Jacek, Ken McDonald. McDonald earlier called Trudeau resignation, but then he was forced to take his words back in January. But now he's again openly calling for him to resign. And also we have Ken Hardy, Sean Casey. He also multiple time called out Trudeau to resign. Chad Colin, who wrote a statement also, like he's speaking to CBC, and Anthony Housefather, who appeared on CTV. And earlier he also called last time also Trudeau to resign. Patrick Wheeler, Serge Cormier, Johan Baker. He's a Trudeau loyalist, but this time he's calling Trudeau to resign. Alexandra Mendes. So these are the one who are calling Trudeau to resign. Maybe, but there is a call like there could be 60 MPs who will be writing a letter to Trudeau to step down. The Prime Minister just does not have the confidence of Canadian people. The Prime Minister should resign and somebody new should take the party and the country forward. This is what a Liberal MP is saying. One MP says, like Freeland sees as a victim. I'm going to open another archive. Just trying to finding that story. And also, like last time, I think Trudeau did not step down back in 2022 because then he got divorced, like his marriage got broken, and they were divorced in 2023. And Trudeau sacrificed his marriage just because of being the prime minister. And that's why, like last time, he was being called out to resign. Trudeau put out this that he put the country first. He did not put the country first, but he put his ego, and he thought he's the king of Canada, but technically he's not the king, but he thinks like he's the king, so he can continue to serve as long as he wants to. And Trudeau was also found guilty in ethics laws twice, like breaking ethics law twice back in 2016 when he took a Aga Khan vacation, what he described as a family friend, and other was back in 2019 due to a SNC Lavalin case when he pressed Minister of Justice and Attorney General Madam Jody Wilson-Raybould to change the case. What he cannot, a Prime Minister cannot push an Attorney General, but he did, and he was found guilty. But unfortunately, this is Canada where we don't have tough laws for these elected officials whenever they get caught, and they won't face any consequences like what happened in George Charles case. Like he was caught like stealing flyers, but he did not face any consequences other than paying $500. What the heck? So how the hell you can do this? You need to like face some lifetime ban from running for public office if you cannot charge anything else. But this is not okay, and that's why we need some changes, like in our rules and regulation. Okay, I'm just finding that story. So this is what's happening. Okay, yeah, I found that story. But as here it says like Trudeau reached a decision, so he did not ruled out resignation, but my gut feeling is saying Trudeau is not going anywhere. My prediction always go my predictions always go wrong, but sometime when Trump won, so that was my best prediction uh, for what I got correct. But still, I think Trudeau is not going anywhere. If he goes, that is good, good for Canada, good for everyone. But I don't think he's going anywhere. So here it is now. Trudeau appears to have reached a decision about his future, but he says not yet prepared to announce it, say some Liberal MPs. So it also say unlike the October 21st National Liberal Caucus meeting, at Monday's National Caucus meeting, Trudeau absorbed the message from MPs that it's time to move on, a Liberal MP told the Time. And also the political pressure is increasing on Trudeau to step down after Freeland resigned as finance minister and deputy prime minister Monday morning, only hours before she was supposed to deliver the government fall economic update. But after Monday evening's emergency Liberal National Caucus meeting, Liberal MPs say they are not sure what Trudeau's next move will be. See, next, not sure. So it seems like Trudeau will stay. If he wanted to resign, he resigned yesterday, like it was just chaos, and he come forward, oh, I'm going to step down. But no, like he appointed his childhood buddy, Dominic LeBlanc, as a finance minister. He's going to continue until next election. In the next election, I don't think it will be called before October, maybe April or March, when Jagmeet Singh secures his pension. Maybe he thinks now it's time for an election. But until then, we don't see any election, and Trudeau is not going anywhere. So some Liberal MP says the Prime Minister appeared to have decided on his future plans but is not yet prepared to announce them, with an update expected in the coming days. So let's wait before Christmas. Maybe he's going to step down, but he's not going anywhere. This time he absorbed the message, said one MP who spoke. Okay, so because meetings, it wasn't like before when we weathered the message during the sorry, during the October 23rd caucus meeting. Approximately 2 dozen MPs urged Trudeau to step down. The emergency caucus meeting was held after Freeland's bombshell resignation. Over the course of the 90-minute meeting, about 20 MPs spoke, with most calling for Trudeau resignation. Sources said that while some MPs were moderate this time, even some parliamentary secretaries voiced their concern about Trudeau's leadership. Freeland also attended the meeting and received a standing ovation from our caucus colleagues. So, Fraser announced December 16 that he will not seek re-election next time around. And Liberal MPs told the Hill Time that Trudeau urged MPs not to publicly talk about this subject and assured them that he has received their messages. However, he did not specify what decision he would make or when he would announce it. So, see, like, he just wants no one should talk about what has been discussed, and did not specify what decision he would make or when he would announce it. Like last time he said, just we need to move forward within same day. They did a meeting. He heard them. Oh, whatever you are barking, bark, because he knows, like, he has lots of, like, as I always say, like, on quota he brought many MPs, got like ticket, like, to run and then continue to support them and appointed them as ministers and secretaries. So he has the support, like, he does not afraid, and that's why Trudeau used this tactic, as he brought up, like, millions of illegal immigrants back from, like, 2016 until now. Just he suddenly shut down their door, but other than he wants everyone just get in here and vote for him. Maybe he will make a comeback after when Pierre Pouliot complete one term or two term, and he will run again. Who knows? And MP said that I have, yeah. So it was absorbed this time. It wasn't weather. MP said that it appears to them that he has decided to leave, but wants to take a few days or weeks to reflect and decide details of his future. It appears. So it means it is not clear, as I'm saying. So the sentiment was very similar. This time the uh, Prime Minister clearly acknowledged and understood, said a second liberal source. A lot of new people spoke who had not spoken before. The impression is that he's mentally made a decision, he's thinking through it, working through it, he's focusing on processing and moving forward what it means in terms of how things will develop very quickly. After the caucus meeting, most of Liberal MP declined to comment, but Liberal MP Chad Colon told reporters that Trudeau should step down. Like, he has been calling out Trudeau to step down. The Toronto Star, meanwhile, reported that 45 Liberal MP had signed the letter asking for Prime Minister to resign, up from 24, according to sources. So this time, total so far, 45 Liberal MP had signed a letter. I'm not going to breach confidentiality in terms of what happened in caucus, but I can say we are not united. So see, like, as I played the video where Collins was saying we are not united, what some other Liberal MP or the puppet of Trudeau were saying that we are united. Collins said in a scrum, there is still a number of our members who feel we need a change in leadership. I'm one of those. We fear what a make Canada great again agenda from Mr. Pouliot means to our constitution, and I think constituents. Peer means to our constituent. I think The only path forward for us is to choose a new leader and to present a new plan to Canadians with a different vision. Some, however, expressed their support for Trudeau. Like some like Franco Philip Champagne, so industry minister. We know that Trump is coming into office on January 20th. It is incumbent upon us. We owe it to Canadians. We owe it to I don't think you owe anything. You owe it, but you are not going to act. Like you are just living a luxury life. Why the hell you care about Canadian? If you did so, you would not spend like hundreds of thousands of dollars Canadian taxpayer receiving a pay raise every April and increasing the carbon tax and other taxes. You don't give a damn about Canadian, but for your own job, like you need their job to live a luxury life. So don't give a damn about this. So, a third Liberal MP observed that Trudeau appeared to carefully consider his MP's remarks both regular through his words and body language. However, this MP noted that they did not sense the Prime Minister had reached any definitive decision. See, so this MP is saying like he thinks or she thinks Trudeau did not make a decision. Trudeau will remain. Just let's take it that way. Meanwhile, Trudeau was thrust into political turmoil on Monday morning after Freeland resigned. In her letter to Trudeau posted on X. This time, like see, who has been Trudeau's top cabinet minister for 9 years and who served as finance minister since August 2020, criticized the government's financial decision. In harsh language, Freeland said her resignation was the only honest and viable path for her after Trudeau asked her to step down as finance minister on Friday, December 13, after her another cabinet post. Okay, so this one we already read, and the former minister confirmed that she will run as an MP and will run again. There you go. So NDP Peter Julian called it a chaotic day, but he echoed the conservative call for a debate on the fall economic statement. Matthew Green echoed that I find it rather gormless that they came into the house, dropped the report, and then left without an opportunity for us to debate. So there were no like liberal MP or minister was there when this statement was uh, tabled. Like they just dropped it. Yeah, like I mean, just speaking to reporters before question period, saying Justin Trudeau is to go, he is to resign. But Trudeau, Singh is not going to vote in any confidence until he does not secure his pension. Like his pension is everything for him at this time. And Trudeau again escaped today's press question period. That night was not over for Trudeau. Following his evening caucus meeting, the PM spoke to Liberal Party faithful later L'Oreal Club Holiday Party at the Canadian History Museum across the Ottawa River in Gatineau, Quebec. Speaking to a room filled with about 600 friendly faces, the Prime Minister made quick reference to today's chaos before moving on, gal- galvanizing party members. So this is what Trudeau said, and would not be over for Trudeau as the results from the federal by-election in the BC riding of Cloward Langley City were still to come. Okay, so that was. Let me show you this riding result. The turnout was very low. So Liberal candidate received just 2,401 and Conservative won it like she served like before 2019 until 2021. Tamara Jensen at 66% and Liberal received 16% and NDP received 12%. Oh, other one don't give a damn. So the turnout was 16.27%. Very low, extremely low. Only 14,979 out of 92,061 registered electoral just got out. This is crazy. This is what's happening. That's why we need independent candidate. Okay, folks. So I think that's it for today. And maybe we will be back with another live, maybe tomorrow. Who knows, like what will happen after today? Maybe something else happen. Maybe Trudeau resigns, but I don't think Trudeau is going to resign. Trudeau is not going to resign. Okay, thank you for joining us on this special live segment, and hopefully we will be back. Not sure when, maybe tomorrow. Until then, please take a good care of yourself, and God bless you, and God bless Canada. And if you did not subscribe to our channel, please make sure to subscribe it. And we will be live on every Saturday, sometimes Sunday, but we will try to fix that day and time. Maybe we are changing it again because at the start we were live on every Sunday at 3 p.m. Eastern time. Then we turned it on 12 p.m. Eastern time on Sunday. Then we switched it on Saturday noon. Now we are still thinking like that is not confirmed, but you always can check on us on our on the Sami Parvez show. And if you did not subscribe, please do subscribe and share it. And we will be back very soon with a new live show. And no one knows what will happen in Ottawa. If something happens today or tomorrow, if Trudeau resign, as I predict Trudeau is not going anywhere, Trudeau will stay until the next election. Or Jagmeet Singh decides he does not need his pension or vote in a no confidence motion, or whenever Singh secures his pension or then vote in a no confidence motion, then Trudeau would definitely lose terribly in the next election based on what polls are suggesting. But other than that, I don't think any big things are going to happen. So until then, please take a good care of yourself and Merry Christmas and have a good one.